August energy, part 2, with Aoibheann and the angels. Somebody really needs to hear this message. And I always feel that the truth is not sugary sweet. You know, it's not that expression of it's too sweet to be wholesome. The truth is the truth. But what I find about the truth is, even though sometimes it's uncomfortable for us, or it's initially hard to hear or accept, I really truly believe that the truth will never hurt you. The truth said from a place of love. It actually is that cliche that it does set you free. It may not set you free initially when your ego reacts and gives out hell and goes crazy, but once you settle into the truth, it is a liberating essence, you know, it's a liberating frequency. So this really strong message keeps repeating for August. So let me just say it the way the angels are channeling it to me. No one is coming to rescue you. Nobody is going to save you. But that's okay. It's okay. Because you are now strong enough. You are conscious enough to know your own power, that you don't need anyone to rescue you anymore. You don't need to buy into that old program, because you can rescue and save yourself. And let's go even deeper into that. You actually don't even need to be rescued, because everything is playing out where it needs to be and how it should to get you to where you need to be. Your righteous place is already assigned. The justice of your soul's mission here is already complete. If you've been waiting, if you've been procrastinating, this is your message to say, you don't need to be saved. And you don't need to keep waiting for someone to rescue you, because you are now awake enough, empowered enough, mastered enough of your life and your lessons to rescue and to be your own savior. I'm seeing this more and more in the pop culture, in social media. People are moving away from this social influencer type of vibe. They're feeling like they're waking up to the idea that, why would I be following someone on a pedestal? And this is another August message theme. Taking people off of pedestals. Who in your life have you put on a pedestal where you're down here and they're up there? You know that that's not healthy, that's toxic. When you allow, whether it be your mother or your favorite psychic, when you allow their opinion to be more substantial than your own, you're in trouble, my friend. That is not a healthy, mature adult way of living your life. You need to know that your connection to yourself and the knowledge and the wisdom that brings, the truth that gives you access to, trumps everything and everybody else. And I've been saying this from the dawn of time. I've been saying this since way back in the 2000s, when I was living I lived in Greystones, I lived in Bray in County Wicklow. Anybody out there? Hello. I love Wicklow. And I'd have these massive groups. I was working in a yoga studio teaching meditation. and spirituality and healing. And you could see people want to treat me like some guru, and I'm this young girl who's just doing my work, being a clear channel, being a clear conduit. That's my role. And people will come up afterwards and they would try to put me on this pedestal, and I just wouldn't have it. I wouldn't have it, because it's not real. It's not true. And in many of my podcasts I've said this: don't believe something just because I said it, or because some other person who perhaps you think has figured stuff out has said it. We're all figuring stuff out. None of us have the mystery of life solved. And I've said this before: if somebody tells you they do, run a mile. Because we're all still learning. But what I will say is, when you wake up to the fact, I call it it's like the Cinderella story. It's like, actually that is a thing. I remember reading a book years ago. The Cinderella complex, right? She's waiting for the prince to come and set her free. And many of us were told these stories as kids, and we really internalized the Disney perspective on life. It's so important now, more than ever, that you are fully awake to the truth that nobody is coming to rescue you. If that makes you freak out, and if that brings up a lot of fear, that's okay. August is a great time for stillness, for meditation, for sitting with whatever is arising. If fear is arising for you, this is a great time to face it squarely, to welcome the fear to rise to the surface, and to have an honest dialogue, have an honest interaction. But very important with fear, please be loving with your fear, because your fear is very connected to your shadow self, which is about the parts of you that have been pushed in the corner and rejected. Your fear is very connected to that beautiful, innocent inner child of yours that just wants to feel less abandoned and more loved. If you can invite love in to that part of you and say, I see you, I hear you, and more importantly, I feel you. And if you're struggling to do this on your own, please go to my website in the description box, book a session. I have incredible, go on Google, I have 5-star reviews that go way back. I have testimonies on my website. I can help you to move through those fearful energies without you even realizing it's happened. It's a skill I have. I've been doing this 25 plus years. I've lost count how long I've been doing this work. So in August Energy Part 1, we talked about, the angels and I channeled about all these crazy physical ascension symptoms or sicknesses, spiritual ascension sicknesses, if you will, in inverted commas. Obviously, I've said, if you feel you have a problem, go to the emergency room, go to your doctor, get your test, go to whoever you need to go to. When I have a lot of physical stuff, I will often, I will sometimes go to the doctor and get stuff checked if I feel if it's a problem. A lot of the time, working with a good energy healer can also really help shift stuff as well, because things start on the outside of the energy field first. So if you understand energy, you have layers in your aura, and it starts off on the outer sheets, the panchakoshas, right? That's what it's called in the old language. And it works its way into the next layer, and then the next, and then the next, and then eventually it goes into the physical body and becomes a problem. If we can catch things in the early stages, when it's out here and not in here or in the body somewhere, we can prevent disease. Which is why I often say, it's good to go and have a tune-up, have an energy clearing or a session with your trusted, experienced healer, because the healer can catch things before they work their way into your physical body. Now, when things have gotten into the physical body, you'll need to take physical action. And different cultures have different ways of doing that. It's not my responsibility I can't go through every way that people do that. But it is your responsibility to tend to the physical, because it's become physical. So it's gone beyond. It's still in the energy. I'm not saying it's left there. And I always say, if you have a big health issue, work on it from all angles. Do all of it, you know. Go to the allopathic medicine. Go to your doctor. Go to your healer. Go to your counselor. Go to your shamanic practitioner or your Reiki master. Do it all, you know. Physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. The 4 corners of well-being. Tend to that. That's really, really important. Just saw 11:11 on the timer. So, knowing that you are responsible for your life, August is a great time to sit within the energies and within this new incoming frequency of information. So August is bringing in a lot of new information. I'm just going to, my boyfriend's trying to call me. I'll have to bring him back. It's not the time don't go into a crazy reactive energy in August. I would suggest to you, my angelic advice would be, it's not a great time to make any major life decisions or major moves or big shifts and starts. Obviously, if you have to move, right? Again, common sense here. I trust that you understand the difference between a suggestion and working with energy. And sometimes we just can't, you know, it's Mercury retrograde, and sometimes we have to sign contracts even though it's not ideal because we need that job. Always, again, just use your own intuition about things. Your intuition, your connection with your higher self trumps everything. Don't ever put astrology or something I say in a video or something someone else says above your own gut feeling. If you know it's the right time to pack up and leave, and it's a big decision, but you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't make it. If it's time to do that, it's time for you to do that. Your energy, your intuition will trump everything. So you can trust that. You don't ever have to feel a victim to energy reports or anything like that. And you can comb through my videos. I am not into fear mongering at all. I am all about empowerment. I'm always about reminding you, follow yourself, follow your heart. The angels and I are just here to connect and share and assist and support in any way we can. So that's what I'm about. I said in the other August part 1 video, you might feel like August on the outside could look slow, or you might feel that August is slow. You might feel that the energies are slowing you down, and you'd be right, because we've had a fast-paced July. A lot happened in July. A lot of people felt the energy was very, very intense. We've had a lot of ancestral clearing out. We've had a lot of family stuff come up. August will continue to amplify the theme of family and family dynamics. And if you feel you need particular healing around that, again, you might need to book a session. You may find that something happens with a family member or a parent that really highlights the kinks and cracks in your relationship, and maybe there's hurts there, and this can often be, I'm getting for some reason mother figure, so I do feel there's a focus on the maternal at this time. You might feel the need to go and spend time with your mother or somebody who's like a mother figure. Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's an aunt, maybe it's a sister. And there's a understanding of part of the healing of this is acceptance, and accepting that that's the way that person is. And you can't change that person, but you can change how you are around that person. You have power over how this person makes you react and what being around this person extracts from you. What version of you does this maternal feminine figure extract from you? So that's another energy theme for August. I mentioned in the other video, go watch it. It really is important. It is connected to the messages of this video. This is an extension of that. The 7th of August and the 14th. They are beneficial, blessed days. I do feel there will be challenges with family in August for some people. Some of you may find the challenges around something that you have tried, and this is not about family, but it's something, it could be career, it could be work, job, that kind of thing. You put so much energy into this passion project or this co-creation, and you gave your best shot at being positive and really believing in it, but it's like maybe you tried to turn a job around or a role you have around, and you might just realize in August, you know what, I need to accept, I need to embrace this as it stands and let it be what it is. And for some of you, you won't be physically walking away, I'd say, until September, until next month. September is where the internal work we do in August, facing our fear, realizing that we are responsible for our joy. It's nobody's job to rescue us or save us but ourselves. Making choices where perhaps we reach out and get help. That's a wise thing to do. Instead of sitting and waiting for someone to come to us, actually booking the therapist, going to the doctor, making that phone call or sending that email to see that person, because it's time to get help and time to get a professional perspective on something. That's brilliant. It's really good to do that in August. But the seeds that we sow this month, we will be better supported or better energetically boosted and rejuvenated and refreshed to take action on that at the end of August into September. Again, it's just a general guide. Do what you will with that information. What else? Do watch your health in August. You will need to tend to extra self-care practices and ensure that you are disciplined with these energies, because these new frequencies, as we are the body is trying to ground, sometimes that can result in either overindulging or overdoing things, because the body is like, what is going on? This is so intense, these energies, and we need to ground you back into the 3D. And there's a little bit of it could feel like an internal conflict with that, because again, I always say it's akin to when a woman becomes pregnant, right? Even though becoming pregnant is one of the most natural, healthy, wonderful things that can happen, her body will still have to expand and adapt, and there can be a struggle as it takes in this extra source energy and finds a way to work with that and to meet the needs of that energy. That's the best way I can describe August. So you're pregnant with possibility, you're pregnant with potential for sure. And for some people, they may even feel a little bit stoned, there might be a feeling of being a bit spacey or a little bit removed from the heaviness or the anxiety that many people felt at the end of July. So I do feel like August gives us a chance to catch our breath, to sit deeper into our bodies in our meditation and have that healing session, book that massage. We have more time and space to tend to the healing arts and the acts of loving self-care for our well-being. But actually underneath, there's a lot happening. This is a complex time. These codes are complex. It's the only way I can describe it. I'm even finding it difficult to communicate this, and I'm a pretty good communicator when it comes to most things. But I'm being shown these codes and I'm feeling these codes, and I hope I'm doing a good job of being in service to you. I might have to do a part 3 for August because there's so much packed into this month, to this energy, as we prepare for going into eclipse season and all that stuff over the last months of the year. So if you're interested in a part 3, you can drop that in the comments below. I would love to know, having watched part 1 and now part 2, what symptoms are you having? Because me and my friends have been having a giggle about this, like, literally my friend was like, I'm feeling this and this and this, and I'm saying, wow, that is exactly how I'm feeling. So, and we both had been checked and knew that there was nothing medically, physically wrong. So I think it's really comforting when you know that other people, you're not crazy, other people are feeling the intensity of these new light codes, the solar flares. The incoming 5D energy is, sometimes it can feel like a full-time job just dealing with these ascension symptoms. But I would say if you can pepper that with loving time with your friends, with your family, I would go easy on the work schedule in August. It's just, it's best to work with the flow, with the tides. And I think I wouldn't overcommit, I wouldn't overpack my schedule in August. So yeah, I think I will have to do a part 3, but I'll just see if there's an interest in that. Thanks so much for liking this video, and thank you for allowing me to be in service of you and the light within you. The light within me always recognizes the light within you. God bless everybody.